What is the essence of the immortality? So, the essence of the immortality. The essence of the immortality lies in the fact that everything already is, and it's beyond reference to time. Everything already is at the instant. It's totally all, including all space dimensions, including all absoluteness of the universes. We will possibly slightly reach them only in billions, billions, billiards of time eons, and beyond time super eons. That's what everything is. As I understand it, you haven't read the immortality materials. That's sad. Are you interested first of all in that you, who you are now? Well, it can't be that you, whom you accept as 2000 years ago, right? I've realized that the immortality is the quantization continuity, no matter what happens. In principle, yes, but I consider both, in my book and here, now, personal immortality, because it's very difficult to conceive the immortality without aspects of connection to your own individuality, at least in my own context. Yes, in the context of this man whom you are focusing right now, with billions of the same men like you. They have the same age, the same appearance, but someone is a little bit more lean, someone is a bit more plump, someone has more hair on the head, someone has less hair, someone lives here, someone lives in other countries all over the world. The fact of the matter is that every reality system has some rotation cycle. It's difficult to talk now about what reality is. All of this has been described thoroughly. I'll talk in general manner. There is special frequency shift on energy plasma quantity, on energy plasma qualities, in every reality system. Our reality types are human realities, which have been created exactly on the base of creative activity of our collective consciousness. We call it the humankind. There are 328 of such frequency shifts in 1 second of this type of reality. What are these frequency shifts? They are dimensions. Every frequency shift is one dimension which is separate. Time or time entity is referred to this frequency shift. These time entities, their interaction qualities between cycled spaces, create the cutting of dimensions, which scientists call the third dimension. You should mention that your time flows in your own way, and someone's time flows in his own way. This depends on the state of a person, on the psychic states, on the level of his or her thinking and feeling. But this is not correct. All third dimension is just visibility, it's illusion, lie, which we accept just only due to the fact that our perception system has been organized in such a way, based on 5 senses. This rotation cycle goes through all humankind collective intelligence. There is many worlds existence, which means many worlds of us. Earlier I explained that these worlds have been created by means of cycling of every universe quantum. More than that, 328 dimension changes are coming through our self-consciousness in every second. Thus, a certain average thinking and feeling quality of all humankind exists, and this rotation cycle passes through it. This rotation cycle is characteristic not only to the reality, but also to the planetary entity and individually to each of the worlds. And if we say to each of the worlds, this means to each of us. So-called rotation cycle depends on which energy plasma quality you use in your life. What is rotation cycle? Here is some space point where all totality of those future worlds manifests. These future worlds will become the existence worlds of each of your forms. Your forms. What is your name? Valery. Let's suppose Valery was born in 1958, in November, in some time interval up to some minutes. This is the birth of your stereo form. You should take into account that the birth was time-lagged somewhere, and this had made an impact on your further destiny. That's because many things had happened during this time. Say the nurse took you in another place where another situation had happened. A fluctuation on events takes place during the number of minutes, which separate the birth moment of each of you. Because 198,800 worlds have been formed during this time, approximately 10 minutes, 328 shifts should be multiplied by 10 minutes and by 60 seconds. The events had started to develop in each of these worlds on their own way. Here you had protruded your head from the maternal womb, and here you had been still inside, and here you had been still inside. Somewhere you had been turned feet first, and your mother should undergo the caesarean section. But the same form appears everywhere. They had named him as Valery. Well, that's not entirely true. You're not Valery everywhere, because Valery was what had come at some moment. In another moment, the nurse had entered and said, "Here you go, this is your Vova." That was because she just liked this name. Then your mother had thought, why not? And she gave you a name Vova. And Vova lives with the same look like you have. This is clear in principle. Yes, but I want to approach you to collective intelligence of humankind. These Vova, Valery, Nikolai, Petya are the multitude which has come from your single stereo form, and it continues to increase more and more in every second. Here Vova had pooped, and someone took him to make a quick wash. This was overlaying of certain events already, the quantization of events to the future. Worlds has begun. These worlds are different, with different story, different scenario. He Vova had pooped, he had pissed, he had done nothing, he had burped, whatever. Many other variants of your future development have appeared. Each of you of these forms have inherited from their father and mother from grandmother and grandfather different activity levels of parts of personal DNA. The parts of DNA are the creators of the Iissiidiology centers Arglamuni, Inglimilissa, Arlactor, Aiglilia. The DNA wave activity of each of you differs to this or that extent, and if it differs, then the quality delivered to you will differ. For example, qualities delivered to you activate intellectual direction to the higher extent, and qualities delivered to another you, sensuous, to the third you, even more sensuous, and so on. All these directions have been activated through circumstances, through the society which surrounds you, through books which catch your eye. These books have caught your eye in one variant of your development, but they haven't in another, and somewhere you're illiterate at all. All this totality of development variants creates some collective consciousness under some last name. Let it be your last name. The humankind collective intelligence has been formed of exactly the same many different states. All of us are different. All of us manifest in space-time continuums with different configurations. I'm like this, he's like that, she's like this. All less qualitative forms have tendency to disappear from the field of further creative activity in the more qualitative rotation cycles of the current reality or the given planetary entity, which are the same. The phrase "they have tendency to disappear" means that the surrounding people present at the moment in the scenario of the given world think that the man has died. Every rotation shift in time is the Dibrane, which has been generated in the continuum between two cycled spaces, between two energy plasma quantums. And some form of you is living in every rotation shift. Your form lives again and again and again, there and there and there. Here you were born and died at once, there you were born and got sick. You stay there in some other states and so on and so forth, but just only few specific directions are significant. You, the host of your forms, continue to move in one of these directions, meaning continue to develop creatively, to peace, to poop, to learn something and so on, to show yourselves in some way in the surrounding world in definite directions. There are less qualitative configurations somewhere and more qualitative configurations somewhere else.